What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Cloud Slayer Channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we got a Tuesday ramble. I had a Monday ramble, but decided not to air it for whatever reason, right? It was just, sometimes you look back on some of the things you say and you're like, I don't know. It might be just going down, teetering down negativity, right? Complaining about stuff that doesn't need to be complained about, and that, try to stay away from that stuff. Trying to stay away from the negative stuff in life. And, what's the point of worrying about something that's going to drag you down, that's going to bring you down mentally and all that kind of stuff, right? Got to try to focus on staying positive and staying away from negative things that drain you of your energy, of your positive energies, right? You sit there and you think about all these negative things in life, why something's not going a certain way, why something's not happening to you or something like that. And instead of worrying about those types of things, start doing things. Start, working out. Start doing things that better yourself. Reading books. I struggle with reading books because, in all honesty, at the end of the day, it's hard for some people to do that kind of stuff, right? Read a book, play, do whatever, work out. Consistency is hard to maintain for some people that because they think they have to enjoy something, but sometimes it's not about the enjoyment, it's about the challenge, right? And when you're focused on those things, you're not too worried about what's going wrong in your life, right? What's not working out for you, because you're preoccupying your mind, and that you're trying to get better, and those things will boost your confidences. They'll do a bunch of good for you, as opposed to sitting there and thinking badly of the world, thinking badly of what you're doing or something, and not doing anything in general, because you're sitting there and you might be feeling bad for yourself. You might be feeling like a failure in your own mind or something like that, right? Along those lines. And that's not a good place to be at. Not for anybody, right? And, you're worth something. You're worth more than what you're seeing yourself as in that moment. And, how do you dig yourself out of that is the real question, right? It's as simple and as difficult as picking up something new or continuing on to something you've been procrastinating about, right? You've been wanting to work out. You've been wanting to play sports. You've been wanting to take your kids somewhere. You've been wanting to read books more frequently with your children at bedtime or something like that, right? There's only one way to for that to happen, is for you to do it, right? And preoccupy yourself with some of these things that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off to the side because of whatever excuses you've been filling yourself inside your head, right? I don't know about anybody else, but I know about me where, if I sit there in my head long enough, I will talk myself out of something, right? I'll concoct some whatever in my head. Not all the time, right? It's just like if it's certain people or certain events that don't particularly care for, right? That you're like, whatever. It's no big deal for me. So I just, somebody asks you about it, and you're just like, oh yeah, I just didn't feel good or whatever. Like for some reason, you make up some lie about it when you don't have to. You just be like, I was busy. I was doing something else in life, something that, I had planned for, whatever. That's, there's no reason to lie for it, right? And when I was, as a younger person, I would always, as I look back, I would always lie. And you're not lying to anybody but yourself, right? And as you get older, you see that, these little lies build up to you lying to yourself in the long run, right? You're just constantly lying to yourself, and you're not seeing reality at times. You're making, and you continue to make these excuses to not only the world, but to yourself, right? Essentially, oh man, I'll start eating healthier tomorrow. I'll start working out tomorrow. I'll start walking tomorrow, running, jogging, playing basketball, playing football, reading books, whatever, all that stuff, Streaming, if you like video games, you've been thinking about streaming video games and whatever, but you think your voice is stupid. You think whatever, you just, because you're thinking too much. And instead of just doing it and trying to get better at those things, you're in your own mind and you're filling yourself with negativity, right? Instead of going out there and figuring it out yourself. The hardest steps in life for most things that are new and fresh, or you're circling back to it, is going to be starting up again, right? As soon as you get your foot through the door, you start figuring it out. Whether that's something you want to keep doing, whether that's just a hobby, whether that's something you want to pursue and teach your kids, right? Or, if you don't have kids, just something you want to do for fun, that you want to do the past time to keep you positive, to keep you away from some of these negative things that are possibly taking hold of your life, right? Drugs, alcohol, some people join gangs and stuff like that. Very possible, right? And if you do these different things, it might keep you away from those things. It might keep you away from drugs and alcohol. It might not. I played basketball against some people that were drunk, when I was growing up. I remember just smelling like booze on them. I'm like, ooh, this guy's drunk. And you got to box them out. You got to do whatever. And they're calling fouls and ain't nobody touching them. And they're falling over and they're calling fouls. And they're like, just give it to him. He's drunk. We don't want to fight. I'm like, I remember being like 6-year-old kid. I was like, but I didn't touch this dude. What the heck? And they're like, don't worry about it, kid. It's just, that's just how this guy is. And they're just like, they let it go, right? And I don't know. I know. I know that how silly that looked, but what was I gonna do? Everybody else was like, whatever, dude, just let it go, kid, just let it go. So sometimes you just gotta let things go and let them play out. Not always worth the fight for it, right? And I don't know. As much as I wanted the basketball, we were still winning, so it's like, whatever. We don't have to win by that much. But anyways, I hope everybody has a great one. And remember to stay positive out there, right? Stay positive, and I hope each and every one of you guys have a great, fantastic weekend. Or week, my bad, rather. And I hope you guys had some fun during Labor Day and stuff like that. So, but anyways, until next time, guys. Peace.